Multiply that by 10. That was how one road worker described the deadly cold snap that's hit the United States and parts of Canada. The polar vortex has seen temperatures drop to -30 in Chicago, colder than parts of the Antarctic. 8 people have died, millions are being affected. People are being warned they risk frostbite within 10 minutes if they go outside. Many places have declared a state of emergency.
An Arctic chill continues to sweep across America's Midwest. Scenes like this in Chicago not witnessed for a generation. The polar vortex has seen temperatures plummet to -30 degrees Celsius, but with the wind chill factor, it's making it feel an awful lot colder.
It's really freezing. It's really bad. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Put layers on, make sure you're covered, and don't stay out too long.
Many have heeded that warning. Cities turned into ghost towns. This bridge would normally be packed with cars. Those sleeping rough are being taken into shelters.
Hey, you need gloves!
As the emergency services are out in force.
We just want to make sure that people understand the severity of the weather out there and that they are prepared. It's not just the person who's risking it by getting outside. It is other people that are first responders who may have to show up on the scene.
The winter freeze has been blamed for hundreds of traffic accidents. Here in Michigan, snow flurries have forced cars off the road and thousands of flights have been cancelled. Across the border in Canada, dangerously cold conditions too. This was the scene at Niagara Falls, with more snow expected to be dumped in the days ahead. But for some, a moment to delight in the novelty of it all. Hot water transformed in an instant by the freezing cold air. With record-breaking temperatures expected to persist, millions are being urged not to take their chances with Mother Nature and stay inside. Karen Allen, BBC News.
Well, the disruption is enormous. The danger's obvious. The wind chill bringing down the temperatures to extraordinary numbers. Well, CBS correspondent DeMarco Morgan is in Minnesota for us.
According to the National Weather Service, if you're out here for just 10 minutes, you can get frostbite. And we talked to a number of people who have basically been impacted by this cold weather out here. It's pretty much, again, at a standstill. People are paralyzed, pretty much. They're not going anywhere. A lot of people are heeding to the warnings. They're staying inside because the frostbite numbers, the count, is significantly down from back in 2014 when there were close to 200 people who suffered from frostbite. But again, they're just trying to take it slow, but everything here has been impacted. Utility companies are asking people to sort of dial back on using natural gas in their home on the coldest days, perhaps, of the year. So it's having a huge impact on people, but for the people who live in this area, they're sort of used to these cold temperatures. But at the end of the day, this is extremely dangerous, and it has proved to be deadly. We got a chance to actually ride around with some of the local police officers here in Minnesota, and we pulled up on a homeless man by the name of Sonny. He was staying outside, and he really didn't have anywhere to go, but he didn't want to leave. He had layers of blankets, you know, covering him up or whatever, but it took police officers to sort of coax him and say, hey, get in the ambulance. This is dangerous. We want to save your life. And eventually he did the right thing. He did go inside. So we can't stress it enough for the people who are here in this area. If you have loved ones here in the United States, in the Midwest, tell them to stay inside until it warms up.